Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. This video is going to be the first in a series of videos about actually creating various types of purchase orders and how you use them. Purchase orders or work orders are handled in a similar manner on the same window. You will control that by various PO styles you set up and what style you select before you print. POs and work orders are used to authorize vendors to provide supplies and/or labor for an agreed upon price. It is optional to use the purchase order features, but it is considered best practice to use them. Let's click for a minute on the purchase orders button here, because what I'd like to do is take a look at the help for purchase orders. First of all, before you get started, I'd really like for you to click this link and open a document about how you can streamline your business and increase profits using purchase orders. It shows the various ways that purchase orders are used in CHS and can be very helpful before you get started. Now notice down here the first link that you have for help is about how to get your cost codes set up correctly so that you have the best flow for PO and setting up your job stages. Let's collapse that help. We've already done the help for getting bids from vendors, and it's above setting up for purchase orders, because we're assuming that you might be getting bids in from vendors before you ever create a purchase order. There is a little bit in this video and in the help documents about how you create POs from vendor bids, but we'll go over that again. Then there's some things that you need to take care of before you start doing POs. I suggest that you watch these videos. There is not a help document because it's much easier to explain these. How you can set up default notes that will drop in based on a cost code that will drop into your PO. Default attachments like scope of work, etc., that will drop into a PO for certain cost codes. You'll attach those to your cost codes. And then there's a video about how you can set up various PO report styles, like for purchase order, for work order, your verbiage in the main body of your text. These PO notes are particular to a cost code. These report styles will have main body text that would print on any PO based on the style that you select, not based on the cost code. It's an overall, like we pay on certain days, etc. So please watch those videos. In this video, we are going to talk about creating what is called budgeted purchase orders. There's three types of purchase orders or work orders that you can create in CHS. One is called budgeted POs. In other words, they relate to the budget. They might be a little over or under the budget, but they're called budgeted because they're authorized what you're planning for. And they will affect your estimated cost at completion and show you how that changes if you do a PO for a little more or a little less. We also have what is called change order POs that you will see in another video down here, and it will be under this create change purchase orders, change order purchase orders. And then we also have another type of PO called variance purchase orders. But we're going to get back here. You can see that the video is currently being developed because I'm doing it right now, but you will see that there is a help document that I'm going to be following for this video and probably a couple of others that follow it, so that this video won't get too long. But you could open that and you could review it. I suggest that you do. It has a lot of information with a lot of screenshots, and I'm going to be following this help document to do these videos. So I'll close that, and there'll be a link to the video, like I said, once I finish it, and any other videos that I put in this section. So let's get started. One of the first ways that you can create purchase orders that I'm going to go over is how you can create purchase orders from the job budget. So I'm going to close that purchase orders menu and click the budget estimates button on the home tab. And we're going to open a budget for our demo job right here, and we'll click on the budget amount to open that. And I'm going to end up issuing a purchase order for plan cost and architect fees. And what I'd like you to see, you can see that that's this cost code on our budget. Read other help documents about performing budgets, but I've just now clicked on it, and you can see that the detail for plan cost and architect fees is showing right here, and that we budgeted for this amount for plan costs and architect fees. Now where I'm headed is that I want to add a new PO for this particular cost code, a new budgeted PO. And if I click this, it's going to look and see if I've done any POs for this cost code and this job before and let me know. But if I haven't, it's going to go straight to opening a window. It says no other POs, etc., and it will let me continue. If it found other purchase orders, the next window, you'll see that this has the budget amount already dropped in for me, but if it found other purchase orders, this unit price would be 0. It's assuming that you'll be wanting to drop in something else. So we've opened this, and about the only thing you might have to select if you're going to issue a PO for the same amount as the budget is the vendor, and we selected Peter Dick Architect Builder. And all we have to do from that is go ahead and create our purchase order, because we do want it for the same amount of the budget. So we're going to click the button to create a purchase order. And the purchase order window will open, and we will be going over all of these fields in a video after this. Right now I'm just going over how you create purchase orders. But this PO has been created. You can see that it's for this amount. Since all POs are built on items, CHS just made one item. If you needed to edit this, you could click Quick Item, and you could change the amount if you need to change the amount and reset. But I'm going to close that so we don't get too long here. What it's telling me to do is remember to refresh my ECC, which we're going to go over later, just in case I change the amount. But notice that it says budgeted right here, and the PO is basically created. I could just print the purchase order now, but we'll see that done a little bit later when we're talking about printing. So that's how easy it is to create from the budget. Now what I'd like to show you is that it can be easier to do this same kind of thing from the estimated cost at completion worksheet. So for this job, back on our window about jobs with budgets, I'm going to click the ECC work link. In other words, my estimated cost at completion worksheet is going to open. And I'm showing you this. Creating a PO is basically about the same as creating it from the budget. But let's do something here. First of all, you can see right away that POs have been issued or not. Here's your budget column. Here's your POs column. And so it's easy to see whether you've already issued your PO or not. I'm going to uncheck this box. I think I did it earlier for a demo. And then I'm going to, we'll get back to why I checked that. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and delete this purchase order that I created from the budget, because I want you to see something. So let's delete that PO. If you delete all the records that are showing, because I clicked on a thing to show the POs, you might have to close your little message box about it. This is refreshing the ECC worksheet, so it takes a few moments because it's doing a whole lot of calculations. But let's play like we never issued a PO and we open the ECC worksheet. You would see that there was a 0 here where there's other various POs already issued for these. So the way you issue a PO from the ECC worksheet is to do plus PO. Click that link. It says no other POs were found, just like before. So what it did was look for the budget amount for me to create it. This is really, whoops. This is really exactly the same as creating it from the budget, except that you can see more information on the ECC worksheet. So now we've created that. And now what I'd like to show you, if you look back here at the, oh, that screen's still there, never mind. Let's just close this for a minute and close. We're done creating that PO, any POs, and let's take a look at the ECC worksheet. Notice that it's saying that our current estimated cost at completion is $16,125. Our POs equal our budget, so of course that's what the amount is for the ECC. But let's see what happens if we drill down to this PO and we click on it to go ahead and open the PO that we see there in that line. And let's go ahead and change that amount using the one quick item that CHS set up for it, which is a quick item. That's how we change an amount, which we'll go over just a little bit more later. But let's change this amount to 16,700. Oops, that should just remain 1, and there'll probably almost always be a 1 in there. Let's make this higher than the budget. And let's save that, which means it's going to update our PO to this amount. It's telling us to refresh the ECC in case we change the amount. And notice down here now on this screen, we're seeing in red that we're $625 over that budget. If I close this and close this, the ECC worksheet is refreshing because it's possible that I would have made a change like that. Now you can see in red over here that we are over by $625 because now the estimated cost at completion is $16,750 because the POs are higher than the budget. If I had created a PO for less than that, and let's just do that, just so you get the whole idea of why it's a lot better to issue POs and study their effects from your estimated cost at completion worksheet rather than from the budget worksheet. We're also going to go over other ways that you can create POs, including from scratch. So let's do the quick item, and let's change this to an amount that's less than the budget. Let's try, and let's save that. It's telling me to remember to refresh my ECC. I don't automatically refresh when you make any changes because I don't want this to always be refreshing when maybe you're just making changes to other things. Right now, there's a thing I can do to tell it to use the 15,500 for the ECC, which I need to do on the ECC worksheet. And let's close that list. So this ECC worksheet is going to refresh itself and show me where we're at right now. But it's showing over budget of 0. The reason is because it's finding that the budget is higher than the POs, so it's still using $16,125 as my estimated cost at completion. But look what happens if I click Use POs, because I am sure I'm not going to enter any other POs for the planned costs. Now you will see that it has adjusted the ECC because I told it to use the total of POs as my ECC, and it's showing me that we are $625 under budget for that particular cost code of planned costs and architect fees. So that's the two ways that you can create a PO from a budget or from the estimated cost at completion window, which I recommend. I'm going to stop this video so that it's not too long, and we're going to come back in the next video and talk about how you can create purchase orders from lists of items that you've set up on the budget, or you can create a purchase order from a vendor bid, or you can create a purchase order simply from scratch. So we're going to go over those in the very next video. Please continue to watch, and thank you for watching this. I'll refresh these totals for the ECC down here for a minute. You can see that over budget, we have some other items here on the ECC causing us to be over budget that we've been demonstrating. The total of all those plus the minuses is where we're at early in this job. We're headed over budget by $1,861. You can see how handy this screen is, and we will, of course, have several videos about the estimated cost of completion window in another section of help. Thanks again for watching.